Borat Subsequent Moviefilm. Delivery of prodigious bribe to American regime for make benefit once glorious nation of Kazakhstan. That's the full title. A surprise sequel to the comedy classic Borat, once again done by the extraordinary Sacha Baron Cohen. Somewhere last year, he decided to revisit the character and use it once again to spark outrage, to stir up controversy, and perhaps most importantly, bait the idiots and bigots and cunts to reveal their true colors through interactions with him on camera, which is what he does with every character of his. He filmed the whole thing pretty much in secret, revealed it last month, and it was just released on Amazon Prime. The story this time around is that Borat is tasked by the president of Kazakhstan to return to America and make a gift of a pornographic monkey, don't ask, to Vice President Mike Pence. However, when he gets to the US, it turns out that Borat's own daughter, played by a Bulgarian actress Maria Bakalova, took the monkey's place. With no other choice, Borat decides to pawn off his daughter as a tribute to the VP. But before he can do that, he needs to ensure that she undergoes a total makeover, thus sparking a number of adventures featuring random Americans. With that caveat that since Borat the character has become so recognizable, some of the interactions were done with Sasha playing Borat, pretending to be yet another character, being incognito. Thus, a bit reminiscent of some of his bits on the show Who is America that he did a few years back. Now, the new film has been getting some buzz on the internet. Some people were predicting it wouldn't be as good as the original. Others who have already seen it claimed it was pretty good anyway, and a lot were excited to see a scene apparently involving Rudy Giuliani, Trump's personal attorney, which was supposed to be pretty damaging to him. And there is a bit of truth in each and every one of those perspectives. I do think that the film doesn't come close to the brilliance of the original Borat, primarily because it is a sequel. It simply doesn't have that quality of being this fresh unknown. The first film came out of nowhere and people didn't know what the fuck it was supposed to be. There are many stories about people walking out of theaters outraged, not realizing this is all just a massive joke. The sheer audacity of what Cohen did while undercover was fairly unbelievable. And because it was so new and unexpected and nobody knew who this guy was, it just caught everybody by surprise, forever making a place for itself in the general consciousness. I mean, one of my best friends to this day occasionally, well, pretty frequently actually, repeats lines from the film as a joke 14 years later. Subsequent Moviefilm lacks that element of surprise. We now know the brand of humor and the type of stuff we can expect from Sacha Baron Cohen, so it is no longer as shocking. And also, it's been a while since I've seen the first film, but to my memory, that was a bit more adventurous and insane. This one, in comparison, feels a bit more tame. There are still scenes in it which are just full-on, balls-to-the-wall Borat craziness, and these are the best parts of the film. But there are also segments which feel just so-so. However, on the whole, I think it's still pretty good. The overarching narrative is funny, both Cohen and Bakalova are unbelievable in terms of how far they can go without breaking character. That was actually one of the main points people were raising on the internet as well. We know Cohen is a known quantity, we know he can do this stuff, but what about this new girl? Well, she does deliver. She's definitely as good as Sacha Baron Cohen is. The absurdities put on display by the two in terms of current stuff in the American society are pretty entertaining. And as I said, there are individual moments which are just brilliant. My favorite bit was probably Borat living with two conservative QAnon supporters in Texas for supposedly 5 whole days without breaking character. This is just a short segment in the film, so I'm just wondering what was on the footage that was unused. Because some of the stuff they say and do, and it's just so outlandish that you don't really know if it's funny or rather scary. And there is that Rudy Giuliani bit towards the end, which, put it like this, some people say it makes him look like a pedophile and he should go to jail and so on. I disagree. I don't think it's that damning. What happens certainly makes him look like a real creep, but, and I think this is an important observation, I don't think it will be that damaging to Giuliani anyway, because he's already been on the record saying worse stuff. And a lot of other people from his political camp have done awful stuff and committed crimes even, and yet nothing seems to come of it. Which maybe is the key takeaway from the new Borat film as a whole, now that I think about it. That tricking people into making fools out of themselves on camera because of their views and their actions can still be funny, but it isn't as shocking or surprising in a world which has become so desensitized to idiocy and villainy.